This video has been a long time coming, hasn't it? It has! Sorry it's took me so long to make this video. This one's kept me very busy. So I just thought I'd introduce you to my little baba. He is 8 weeks old now. His name is Grayson James and he is the most precious thing in the world, aren't you? You are! He's extremely strong, as you can tell already. For 8 weeks he's quite impressive, but I'm a little biased. I'm obsessed with him. Just look at that face. What are you looking at there? Are you looking at the lights, Baba? Yeah. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my labour and delivery story of this little man here. I was 7 days late. He was due on the 21st and I was induced on the 27th. So I went into the hospital on the 27th at around 11 AM-ish. They sort of introduced me to the ward and everything and the induction bay. About an hour or two later, they examined me and did a sweep. Luckily, the sweeps got easier as time went on, because I had 4 in the end in total. And after they carried out a sweep, basically said, you won't need a pessary because you're further enough gone already. We just need to burst your waters and you should be well on your way. So I got really excited. We went down to the delivery suite then, got my room and whatnot, got hooked up with the cannula, ready for the drugs, and the very nice midwife, which was actually a male midwife. Do you still call them midwives when they're males? I'm not too sure. Either way, he was like the loveliest guy ever and we were very lucky to have him. He popped my waters, contractions began instantly. To be honest, the contractions probably started before my waters even broke. I was getting the niggly feelings for quite a while. I think I was in slow labour for a couple of days, if I'm totally honest with myself, but it was tolerable. It wasn't like I was in agony or anything like that. So from start to finish, that was on the 27th, as I say, on the Monday, and this little dude didn't come until the Tuesday. So you can imagine how tired and exhausted we all were. I won't go into like the gory details, but basically they gave me an epidural because I was on a oxytocin drip, and they say pretty much it's excruciating pain when you have the drip, so they suggest you get an epidural. Luckily for me, the first epidural failed, so I had to have 2, and the second one was the keeper, and it began working. And honestly, the relief you feel once that epidural starts working is unreal. I was like a totally different person. I mean, to be honest, I was handling the pain quite well. I thought I would cry the whole time and scream, but I was just, breathing through it. The midwife said that they were really impressed with how I was handling things, so I'll take that as a good sign. But yeah, it just got worse and worse. And by 4 AM, the midwife said, okay, like things are happening now, it's active labour. This is 4 AM on the Tuesday, mind. So from 4 AM, things were moving, and he arrived at 7:45 AM. So that was a long time pushing, very long time, but he was worth it. Grayson was a very big baby. I struggled to get him out by myself, so I had to get cut, and forceps were applied to his poor little head. Well, quite large head. You have got a big head, haven't you, lad? So take after your dad. And he was pulled out by forceps, which was the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life and probably will ever experience. The doctor, she was like a female doctor. She was only tiny as well, and they obviously have to clamp baby's head. She was pulling, and as she was pulling, the whole bed, like me and the bed, was just sliding across the room, and you could just hear him say, put the brake on, put the brakes on, and then the midwife was like, the brakes are on, and I was just like sliding across the room. It was horrendous. Like, it was literally the worst thing. Once his head popped out, they said, like, do you want to feel the baby's head? And I always thought I would never want to do that. Like, oh, no, that's not for me. But when you're in that moment and it's your little baby and they're asking you that question, I didn't even have to think about it. My hand just instantly went down. And as soon as I touched this little guy's head, that's when I started getting really emotional then, and I was just giving it everything I possibly could. I let out a very loud scream that echoed around the labour ward. My little sister was waiting outside the room, and she said she heard it and just instantly knew it was my scream. Then she heard the cries of little Grayson. She got all emotional, as did I, and I just remember like reaching out my hands and seeing this really massive baby, because I didn't think he'd be that big. This huge baby coming towards me, and I was like, give me my baby. And I gave him the biggest cuddle, and it was just, oh, it was the best experience of my life. Considering it was the worst with the pain, it was like a total 180, and then next minute I'm extremely happy and just cuddling my little baba, and he was just crying and crying and crying, which is the best thing ever when you're in that moment, because it's so scary when they don't cry. Because it took him like a few seconds to cry, and the seconds felt like minutes and hours in that time, because all you're wanting is that cry to know that everything was okay. And obviously, because he was a large baby, I was a bit of a mess downstairs and they had to stitch me up. So Grayson went to his dad, and like my mum was in the room as well, so they had cuddles and was all cooing over him while I was getting stitched up. And the stitching took about 45 minutes, which was a long time getting stitched up. It was uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And then I got my baby back in my arms straight away and gave him a feed, because I'm solely breastfeeding this little guy, and he latched on straight away. I was so impressed, and I just thought, oh my god, I've got this, this is in the bag. But sadly, like later on, I was just in a lot of pain, and it was hurting for him to feed and whatnot. And then I found out he was tongue tied, so we got that sorted out, and we got it sorted out pretty quickly as well. He was born on a Tuesday and he got it snipped on the Thursday. Cried and cried and cried, but apparently there's no nerve endings there. They just sort of lifted up his tongue, got a pair of scissors and cut the extra bit of skin that wasn't allowing his tongue to go all the way out to latch properly. And then after that, he fed much better. 2 or 3 weeks it was really painful, toe curling pain, but yeah, it's just got easier and easier as we both learned together, because as much as he was learning, I was definitely learning, and a lot of it came down to me, like relaxing, getting comfortable with him and whatnot. And yeah, he's doing really well. He's just gained weight every single week, which is great. So he was born on January the 29th at 7:45 in the morning, weighing a whopping 8 pounds 11 ounces. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. Look at his hair. There's just no taming this at all. I could try and put it down, it just sticks back up. So live and let live. He's a rocker. Definite rocker, aren't we, dude? Yeah. Sleep wise, he's not the best sleeper, are you? You're not the best little sleeper. He was up probably every hour at first, and then it went to 2 hours. It's getting a little better now. So sleep deprivation is probably the hardest part of motherhood. And because I am solely breastfeeding, it's all on me, basically. There's not much Dad I can do, is there? There's not. No. You're chewing them handies. Do they taste nice? I'd say I wasn't in a rush to have another baby after that experience, because it has scarred me a little bit. Like, I sometimes think about those forceps and shivers run through my spine, but it's been 2 months now and I'm already relaxing from it. So I think it's just that initial shock of it all. So yeah, never say never, but I mean, Daddy's saying never. And it kind of takes two, so little Grayson might be our only one, but at least we can give him our full attention and everything that we've got, which I'd be more than happy with, because look at him, he's bloody gorgeous. He looks the spit of his dad, which is a little bit frustrating considering I'm the one that carried him for 9 months. But no, he doesn't look anything like me. He is bloody beautiful, aren't you? You are. Are you going to say hello to the camera? Yeah, you're going to say hello to the camera. Look, Papa. Started getting smiles now as well, which is just amazing. Like, every time he smiles, it melts my heart. And I just can't wait to start those first, like the first proper giggle, the first crawl, the first walk, the first chop of his hair. I just can't wait. I really can't wait to experience everything to do with motherhood. It's been a ride already. Unfortunately, I've been going through a really tough time personally, like with family matters and things, and it has made the whole experience really difficult. Looking at this little dude's face makes everything better, and he sort of saved me in a way. As cheesy as that sounds, he's definitely helped make my life a happier one. Are you going to need feeding? I think you might need feeding. So I shall leave it there, but I want to say thanks everyone for... Oh no, we don't want tears. No. I just want to thank everyone for being so patient with me through this whole thing, and Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a cheeky thumbs up and subscribe, you know, if you want to, but there's no pressure here. But Grayson would love it, wouldn't you? You would. Check out my Patreon if you'd like to. I do extended videos and early uploads over there. My mailbox is in the description below if you want to send me anything, feel free. And I want to give a special thanks to those that have sent me things, and especially those that have sent Grayson things, because he loves them, don't you? You've been spoiled already. Thanks so much, guys. I hope to see you all again soon for another video. Bye!